Mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. What is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. Back again, once again. You should already know that this one is poised to be an instant classic in the making. If this is by far your first time to the Dr. Mike TV experience, by all means, make sure you subscribe, make sure you notify, make sure you do all the things to make yourself well versed in the Good Dots content. All my stuff shall be listed in the links in the description area below. It's been a minute, man. Doc just trying to get back into the groove of things. I missed y'all a little bit. So I decided to come through politic with y'all and share a story that I thought was actually interesting, right? Something that I myself have personally not considered, but maybe, just maybe, it was something that you guys may have considered. So without further ado, I'm not going to really waste too much time with it. I'm going to go ahead and get to the point. Let me go ahead and share the story with y'all real quick. Because apparently, passport bros are taking over the high seas now. Not only are we taking over foreign countries in the most political, literal way we possibly can, we're also taking over the high seas, man. And I thought this story was something that was interesting to share. I've had this one in the pocket for a while, but only now have I given myself the time to actually go ahead, lock in, and see what it's all about. But if you give me a minute, let me go ahead and set this thing up. Entire screen. There we go. Share that joint. All right, so now y'all looking at me. Now let me go ahead and bring up the story. Make sure I zoom it in enough for all of my people to be able to see it. Because I think this story overall takes a differing approach, something that I personally, like I said, never thought of before. All right, so I'm looking at myself to make sure that you guys are locked in, to make sure that you guys can see the story. But if you haven't already dropped your like, you already know the rules, man. Make sure y'all caress, molest, and de-stress yourself over that like button. It wants it, it needs, and most definitely has to have it. If you guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But like I said, the good doc is happy and blessed that y'all choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Now and then, back to business. Article reads, 28-year-old buys cruise ship apartment because it's less than renting and he can see the world. So my man's motivations are rooted in logic, right? He found that wherever he was living, and I'm sure they're going to tell us where he's from, because this is the first time I'm actually going through it with you guys and the first time that I'm actually reading it through and through. But apparently where he was living was hella expensive, and he figured, fuck it, man. I can get a cruise ship, I can travel the world, and it's cheaper than where I'm living in the United States today. All right, so a 28-year-old decides, hey, man, let's take the high seas, man, and let's be one of the passport brethren on the seas. All right, so basically the article reads, and this came out, like I said, it's been out for a minute, man. This one came out December 19th of 2022. Okay, it's the article title reads, it's an all expense paid life for about $50,000 a year. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, $50,000 a year to a lot of people is a lot of money, right? Depending on where you fall in the economic scale, 50 grand is actually a pretty decent amount of money, but it's not too unattainable. If you guys pick up what I'm putting down, 50,000 a year averages out to about what every month, right? Y'all do the math on that one. If 1,200 equals, don't make me do math right now. But if you round it up to 60K, you could do probably what? How much is that a month? I'll let y'all do the math on that one. So 50K, a little bit, a shade below that, right? So it's not too far-fetched for you to be able to achieve that type of bread. But again, this is just for the apartment, not for any other expenses, okay? So living the rest of your life on a cruise ship seems like the dream of the ultra-rich, right? You wake up in the morning and you have an all-you-can-eat breakfast, spend the afternoon hanging out by the pool or touring a fantasy city such as Rome or Dubrovnik. Don't ask me where that is. If you know where Dubrovnik is, leave it in the chat box. At night, have a drink in the lounge, watching a comedian or a jazz band, then hit the sack and do it all over again the next day. Seems too good to be true for the average person. Well, let's think again. 28-year-old Austin Wells of San Diego, so that's California where he's at, so I can see how the rent would definitely be cheaper if you're just doing $50,000 a year. Of San Diego told CNBC that he made I'll say he can make it happen because it's cheaper than living onshore in Southern California. And he gets to see the world. The thing that most excites me, he quotes, is I don't have to up in my daily routine in order to go see the world. All right. Sliding in, he also mentions, he says, I'm going for this model where you want to go somewhere. He said, I'm going from, the model where you want to go somewhere. You pack a bag, you get a flight or book a flight, you rent a room, to now my condo, my gym, my doctor, my dentist, and all of my grocery stores actually travel with me. Like I said, this is something I never thought about before, right? And this is the reason why I wanted to bring it to you guys. So basically, for us fellow passport brethren who choose to travel the traditional route, let's go ahead and call it that. Basically, what it is you pack a bag, book your flights. You got to get your accommodation set up, where you're going to stay at, what you're going to do, budget out, do everything you got to do. But if you choose the alternative route, like this man's opting to do, everything that he needs is exactly where he is on the cruise ship. All right. So it goes in to say that Wells purchased an apartment on the MV narrative, which is currently being built in Croatia and set sails in 2025. So he's not actually doing it yet, but in the next couple of years, he's already got his place booked. He's already ready to go. He's already ready to rock and roll. So when it does set sail, he's already ready to rock. That's not a bad thing. Go ahead and plan in advance. So now that he knows this is what he's going to do, I'm pretty sure he's probably going to rearrange the things that he's doing in his life right now in order to make sure that cake is stacked up, right? Maybe they tell us what his job is. Maybe they don't. Let's go into further detail. The rough math for Wells' dream makes perfect sense. He purchased a 12-year lease, so it's not actually something he owns outright. This isn't his actual property. He just leased the joint. Okay, purchased a 12-year lease on a ship for $30,000. That comes out to about $2,100 a month. That if he didn't have to take out if he didn't have to take out a loan. No, that comes out to about $2,100 a month. I'm sorry, if he did not have to take out a loan. By comparison, most apartments in San Diego cost more than $2,100. So based on the average apartment cost in San Diego or Southern California, he's coming out on top. So that's pretty much what the motivation was behind this particular move. The ship charges an additional $2,100 a month for all-inclusive services, which includes food, drink, alcohol, gym membership, routine health checkups, onboard entertainment, and laundry. Now let's break that down for a second. $2,100 a month additional for all of that. So you get to eat for free. I'm not going to say eat for free because it's not free, but you're already paying it all in, and you get food whenever you want it, drinks whenever you want, alcohol whenever you want, access to the gym whenever you want, and you get quote unquote health care, right? Doctor checkups is what they call it, but we'll just kind of say that equates to his health care. Onboard entertainment and laundry. So I guess whenever there's a magic show or a jazz or a comedy show or whatever he wants to attend on the boat, because he actually lives on the boat, I'm assuming he can actually go ahead and catch that for free, right? Or not for free, but it's already paid in what he has. So we're looking at what? Maybe $4,200 all in so far? $2,100 a month for the apartment that he's 12-year leasing, and another $2,100 a month additional, 42 total. Depending on how you look at it, guys, that's not too bad, right? I guess in Southern California, shout out to all of my brethren out there in Cali. Y'all can be able to further incite us on this one. If you have any information, please let us know. But yeah, I'm assuming he's coming out a little bit on top because it's all inclusive. There's no extras, right? Think about it. He doesn't have to worry about a car. He doesn't have to worry about a mortgage. He doesn't have to worry about car insurance, everything that comes with the car, putting gas in the car. So I'm pretty sure he's saving in other areas by allocating those funds towards his time spent on the ship. So going into the rest of the article, it says, so it could cost Wells a little around $4,200, like we talked about, a month to live in an all expense paid life. Plus, there is no need to pay for a car, talked about it, or waste time shopping for groceries or traveling anywhere. It's all on the ship. Wells can work from the ship because his job with Meta is fully remote. Now, this is where things get very, very fucking sticky. Like, I want y'all to pay attention to this because although I'm not in the tech field, I don't know how many of my brethren are in the tech field. Shout out to my brother, Antoine Wade. I love that brother. Black Heights. I know he's in the tech field. I know a couple of other guys that I kind of watch and follow on YouTube that are in the tech field as well. There's a lot of layoffs going on. So my man committing himself to a 12-year lease, I'm not sure how guaranteed his job is, especially if he works in, Meta is actually Facebook. For those that don't know, the fact that, Facebook just laid off some thousands of people recently. I hope he wasn't one of them. But the fact that they're laying off people, that actually kind of scares the hell out of me. And I would think that I wouldn't want to commit myself to a 12-year lease on anything if my job security is not there. Like, if my job security is not there, why would I commit myself to such a thing? That's where I'm starting to see a little bit of doubt in my mind. That's where I think a lot of people would probably not necessarily reconsider, but want to think it all the way through, especially if their job is not guaranteed. Now, I've talked to a lot of my brethren who choose to go the digital nomadic lifestyle, and I do believe that the digital nomadic lifestyle, the digital nomadic lifestyle is actually a lifestyle that's not too bad, right? I think a lot of people can get off and do very well with this digital nomadic lifestyle. But it takes a lot of time, effort, energy, and you got to put the upfront work in the beginning, right? This shit just ain't gonna happen overnight. And then with a job like this, you guys know the money is not consistent. You can't expect to make the same amount of money every single month, right? One month you're up here, next month you bottom, right? Nobody wants your work or needs your services. So what are you going to do on those off months, right? Are you going to have enough money to carry over? Is your 4,200 that it's going to cost you to live on this ship going to really hold you down? If it ain't, you might want to reconsider. But I'm assuming that he's putting some money aside that could probably cover him for a couple of years, just in case things are probably not balancing itself out. I'm assuming. I don't know. But I'm hoping that he's putting together a plan, because I'm not going to sit there and bank on the fact that job going to be there forever, especially since this tech industry lately, tech layoffs have been a real thing, right? We talk about Elon Musk. I think Twitter had thousands and thousands of workers at Twitter before Elon Musk came. And I think they got it down to like 7,000 employees that work for the company now. Finding ways to cut costs is a lot of what these tech companies are doing right now. So if you are in the tech field and you're thinking about something like this, I know it's a bit extreme, but if you are thinking about it, make sure your job security is there first. Even though he's working fully remote and he can live on the ship, I'm assuming the internet is good, so that's not the issue. But is your job going to be there tomorrow? Always a great question. All right, so moving on then, it says, what I'm probably most excited about is going to places that ships can only uniquely go. He says, unique ecological parts of the world, or beautiful dive spots that are a few miles off land, or caves to dive through. The ship will do a number of overnight stays in those areas. So basically, he's excited about the types of places he could potentially go, right? Most cruise ships, the way that I look at them, they travel to certain areas every time of the year, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 destinations that I'm aware of. Maybe they travel to more, but for the most part, a lot of these cruise ships travel to the same places, right? What's that place? Nassau, I think. Yeah, Nassau in is that Jamaica? Damn, my geography's fucked up right now. Don't crush me on it. Places in like Puerto Rico and places like that, they travel to those areas, Jamaica. So I don't know if this cruise ship that he's going to be on is going to go to a lot of different destinations. That's my assumption. But if they're traveling to the same places year round, or traveling to the same places 2-3 times a year, I kind of feel like I'm gonna get played out with that. Yo, I've already been there before. Yeah, I already done that before, right? My life is on a ship now. And we're going to get into the details about how I personally feel about it later. If you haven't already dropped your like, y'all make sure y'all do that, man. The Good Doc would highly appreciate that one. Again, for any of those that want to support, please feel free to do so. But I'm happy and blessed y'all come through and spend a little bit of time. But yeah, I'll get into my thoughts a little bit later on, because I would probably want to touch on the monotony of that type of routine. Granted, setting a routine is always ideal. Being on a ship around people all the time, man, I don't know, man. I'm not really cut out for that. But we'll get into that in a second. All right, let me finish this off. Hopefully, we don't have much more to go. Wells isn't the only person who decided to live on a permanent vacation. Upworthy spoke with a couple in their 50s early this year who live on cruise ships because it's cheaper than their mortgage. Okay. So a lot of people are opting into, not a lot of people, but there are a couple of people who are opting into this particular lifestyle. Richard Burke and his wife, Angeline, are living their best life, hopping from ship to ship for around $100 a night. So we're looking at what, $3,000 a month, give or take $3,100 a month, depending on the cruise. Every cruise costs vary quite. I said cruise costs. I'm sorry, vary quite a bit. Our goal is to average about 100 a night for the couple or less across an entire calendar year. So $100 or less a night is what they're trying to average out at. Okay, he said the Bergs keep the cost of cruising down through loyalty memberships. We love to travel, and we were searching for a way to continuously travel in our retirement that made financial sense. People like Wells and Burke may be outliers in society. Excuse me. They've chosen to give up the comforts of a home for the comfort of living a life being catered to 24/7. While most of us probably won't opt to make a big leap and live life out at the sea, their stories are a wonderful reminder that a little creative thinking, we can create a perfect life for ourselves, whether on land or at sea. And I believe that is the end of the story. All right, so let me stop sharing real quick. All right, we got through that. All right, now let's go ahead and dig in, because this is where the good doc talks about it from the perspective of the average guy, myself included. Okay, I'm a realist, right? I'm real as hell, and I'm gonna tell you my true feelings. Number one, a life like that sounds nice, and I'm sure it is, but I can't imagine myself wanting to live on a ship year round. I'm a people. I'm a people person, but I'm not really a people person, right? I like people. Me and the wife, we like our time by ourselves. That would probably equate to us if me and her were to do it together, spending a lot of time in our little apartment doing much of nothing, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. You go out when you want to and all that stuff, but I don't know about y'all, but if y'all remember COVID back in the day and how they had people on cruise ships and they wouldn't let the cruise ships come back into land because there were so many cases of COVID and shit on these ships. Nah, bruh. Nah, I don't feel that, right? And let me tell you something. Black people can swim. So it's not the fact that I'm scared of water. Okay? I'm going to make sure I say that. Happy Black History Month. I don't know if that was even appropriate segue, but who gives a shit? Black people can swim. I can swim. Actually, let me take that back. I can float very well. I'm very buoyant. I give myself credit where credit is due. I can pat myself on the back for that. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I've seen the Titanic too many times. Okay? I watched that 3-hour movie too many times, right? And in my mind, I'm thinking, if an iceberg can sink that big ass ship, I'm scared of what could happen if I'm caught out there on sea and the iceberg just fucking wipe us all out. That's me. That's just my mentality. I'm not big on ships for long periods of time. If I'm only doing a day trip or a couple of day trip, you know, one of them little 3-day joints that you can Carnival Cruise or Royal Caribbean type shit, okay. But year round, that's pushing it. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but year round, Pippin, y'all asking too much for me. Right. And I'm not really big on, like I said, man, just year round type shit. Now, there are a lot of upsides to it, man. Gym membership, if you really care about the gym like that, I hope you do care about health, because health is wealth. Doc trying to get it together his damn self. But you know, the entertainment aspect of it, I think that, you know, the entertainment aspect of it really does make a lot of sense. You know, if you want to go to a nightclub, check out a band or, you know, all that stuff. But what tends to happen is if you check out the band and the comedian and all of that shit, you're going to start hearing these jokes over and over and over again. And you're going to start running into the monotony of it. I mean, you guys got to understand, I lived in the Philippines for 10 years. Philippines can become very monotonous. I was able to ink out a little bit of things in my day to kind of change it up or switch it up a little bit. But overall, my days really didn't vary very much. They did not vary very much. Like there wasn't a lot going on being a college kid and going to school and stuff that I did outside of going to school, coming home, rinse and repeat. right? In your elder years, when you're retired or you're looking to create a life for yourself abroad as passport brethren or not, you got to find things to entertain yourself, because the monotony, the day to day, that type of shit, it could really eat away at you. And imagine this. Imagine being on a ship and you can't, I don't want to say escape because I don't want you to feel as though you're trapped, but you're kind of trapped on the ship, right? What if you want to go for a walk or you want to do something? You're kind of trapped on that ship because this is what you committed yourself to. Now, that man trying to do a 12-year lease, not knowing if his job security is locked in, is a very big risk to me, right? Now, granted, these layoffs, they've been happening, but only when the year turned over did we start to see it happen a whole lot more. I wouldn't be willing to risk it all if my job security wasn't locked in. I don't know about y'all. It's just not worth it, man. Juice ain't worth the squeeze if my job ain't there. And again, a digital nomad, man. What tends to happen with your digital nomads is if it ain't popping in an area, they could just pick up and move to another area that's a little bit cheaper, right? Nobody say anything, man. That's just a part of the lifestyle. But where can you pick up and move to? Riddle me this, Batman. Where are you gonna go to when you're stuck on a ship? When you're on land, it's easy to buy a plane ticket, hypothetically, from the Philippines to Thailand. Back in the day, it was a little bit cheaper than what it is now. I think it's it kind of definitely got a little bit more expensive, as time passed. COVID-19 and all that shit. Pandemic. Post-pandemic versus pre-pandemic prices. But in reality, it's still easier to move. If you ain't feeling the Philippines, man, I want something new, jump over to Thailand. You don't want to do that, go over to Vietnam. You don't want to do that, check out Japan. You don't want to do that, let's just get out of Asia altogether and just go. Where are you going to do that on a ship? Once you locked in, and you kind of locked in until they decide to dock somewhere. And then if you live on this place or you have your little apartment in this little area, guess what? How are you going to get back to the ship, right? Because apparently they're only traveling to certain locations, right? And they're probably not places where airports are in abundance, right? Because if they are in a place where airports are in abundance, what would be the need for a cruise ship, right? If I could fly to it, why would I take a damn boat to it, right? Kind of that type of vibe, if you feel where I'm coming from, if you pick up what the good doc's putting down. Anyways, guys, I definitely want to be the one to hear what you guys got to say about it. Let me know what you guys think, man. Is this a lifestyle that you can see yourself committing yourself to as a virtual alternative for, guys looking to travel the world a little bit, see or sail the 7 seas or whatever, man? Let me know if that's the type of energy you vibing with. See a couple of y'all in the building, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with the good doc. If you haven't already, y'all make sure y'all drop your like. Make sure y'all caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. It wants it, needed, most definitely has to have it. Again, if you guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But like the good doc says, man, I'm happy and blessed y'all choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with your boy today. Now you're on Dennis. Shout out to Chosen One. What's going on, brother? Good to see you here. I'm not sure if you're in the Philippines or still in Thailand, but good to see you in the building. Shout out to the brother Oscar, man. What's going on, man? It is definitely creative, but I do not believe that I'm cut out for that lifestyle, myself included. I don't believe that this is a lifestyle for me. I don't know. There's something about cruise ships and boats and being, it's a lot to try to commit yourself to, which is why when I hear, the fact that you're doing a 12-year lease, $300K, averaging out to about 21 a month and all of that stuff, and you realize that, you have to pay another 2,100 a month, for all the amenities that you get to enjoy as being a part of the ship, and it comes out to be about 4,200. 4,200 is not a small flex, friend. That's all I'm gonna say, man. $4,200 is not a small flex, man. That could definitely creep up on you. But if you do pay it and it's all inclusive, guess what? You don't have to pay any money out of pocket for any additional cost. So that can't be a bad play, right? It can't be the worst play. But I'm just not a fan of being caught on ships like that. I'm just not built that way. My man Oscar says in Folsom, California, rent on a 1-bedroom is around $1,900. And maybe that could be the general location of where it's at. I mean, with all due respect, I've never heard of Folsom, right? But then again, not too many people have heard of where I live in small town North Carolina either. Your Charlottes, your Raleighs that are probably going to be where the most expensive, living arrangements are, right? Because that's probably where the jobs are the most profitable. But let's keep it real. Yeah, it's very cheap where I live at now, and it's probably, like I said, very good that and yo, he is single, so I would assume a 1900 would definitely be all right. If he's only coming in at 2100, an extra couple $100 off of the average price of where your area is in 1900, that's not too bad. I think where I'm at, the average is, I want to say, about 11 or 1200. I would say that it's comfortably about 1200 on average. All right. Dollar Will, what's going on, family? The Bahamas is not a bad choice. That's where Nassau is. It's the Bahamas. Thank you. Bahamas. I knew I was, bro. Don't kill me on the geography, man. I was thinking about it because I know that a lot of my friends travel to Nassau. They come back with the little hats on and shit, acting like they really been somewhere, even though they be feeling themselves a bit. And one of them bought a hat bag for my friend, and that's why I know the name of Nassau, but where it was at, it escaped me. Jamaica, it was the Bahamas. So thank you about that. I appreciate the correction because I had no earthly idea. My man says, give me a second. I'm trying to figure my life out. There you go. He's going to be surrounded by a bunch of old people playing shuffleboard. That's probably very true. I mean, I don't know about a lot of people who be on these carnival cruises and shit like that. They sometimes, you might have a young family who's doing it for like a 3 day or something like that just to get away. But on average, the people he are most likely to see are people who are retired. And he's 28 years old. He's probably going to see people in his 50s on the regular. And I don't know about y'all, but it could be very easy to develop that old man's mentality if you are around a bunch of older individuals, right? If you are around a bunch of older individuals, let's keep it real. It can become very easy to develop the mentality of the people you spend the majority of your time around, right? I don't know if he's there to make friends. We'll figure that out. Shout out to the homie Robert, man. What's going on, bro? Appreciate you locking in, family. My man Pop Smoke, what's up, bro? He says, I'm definitely not a people person, man. I don't like people either, man. I like YouTube. I like my YouTube family. I like the people I collaborate with. I get along with damn near anybody. But I'm not out here looking for social interaction, if that makes sense. I'm not out here looking to be friends with just anybody and everybody. I like who I fuck with, and the majority of the people that I do deal with, they're great people. But I'm not out here looking for new friends. All right, let's keep it real. So for me, it'd be a hard pass because I kind of feel like in a situation like that, to an extent, you could feel like you're forced to communicate with others. Like you're forced to talk to people because you're on a cruise ship and you're around these people all the time. It's not like you can order in. I mean, I'm sure you can order in. Let me stop. But it's, most of the time you're gonna want to get out, right? At the end of the day, why would I choose to be on a cruise ship if all I do is spend all my time in my little apartment on the sea, right? So that's kind of where, like I said, I draw the, figuring out what it would be like if it really works or if it's really worth it or not. It could be worth it to you. It could be worth it to some. Personally, I think I'm at the pop. I'm at the hard pass on that. My man says, think about this: the basement of your house has a morgue that used all. I'm sorry, the basement of your house has a morgue that's used all the time. Old people die on cruise ships all the time. Yeah, no, thank you. That sounds fucking depressing. That sounds super depressing. No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, hard pass. And he gonna be around old people all the time? Nah, I'm good. He says we do not accept him as a passport, bro. He will spend the next 13 years on water. We don't. But it was another different way to travel the world if you're looking to get into other areas and shit. Again, dating is not going to be easy. We never talked about it from the dating aspect. If that was something as a 28-year-old he would probably be considering, dating would not be easy, right? You're going to be on these dating sites talk about, yeah, boo, I'm going to be in your area, but I'm only going to be there for 24 hours, so we got to make it work, right? It ain't like you're going to be, no, I guess he could bring a couple of the, the members of the bridge club back to his back to his little on the sea apartment and shit, and do a little nasty with grandma who ain't got no teeth and shit. But what are the odds that he's gonna meet somebody? Think about this. We don't know about this man's dating preferences. We don't know nothing about it. But if you think about it as a man who's probably 28 years old and possibly looking to date, it could be hard to find a lot of people. There may be a couple of casuals, but it would be hard to find somebody to lock in with. And then again, you've already committed to 12 years on C. Tell me how many girls you know are going to want to commit and live that lifestyle with you unless they're about that life as well. But then again, you got to take it. Well, if she has a job that allows her to work on C, then I guess that may not be too bad. But then again, not only is it $2,100 a month for him, they're probably going to charge him another $2,100 for her as well. It ain't going to just be we get to use each other's shit type stuff. They going to make their bread. You already know. Cruise ship ain't going to just let that slide. So, there's a lot that goes into the idea. And he probably ain't worried about dating if we're keeping it real. If he chose this particular lifestyle, dating is probably the furthest thing away from his mind. But taking that into consideration, what type of girl do you know would want to live on a cruise ship year round for at least the next 12 years of your life? Because 28 to 12, that's what, 40? He'll be 40 when his lease is up. Again, all things depending, job security and all. Folsom is next to Sacramento. Okay. I know Sacramento ain't cheap though, but yeah, I had no idea. Cruise ships don't travel to the east. At least I don't think so. No, they don't. I never hear about them traveling anywhere in that part of the world. Never. I mean, like I said, the most is Puerto Rico. Like I said, Nassau and the Bahamas. And again, you could probably go online and figure it out. I do believe that the couple that was mentioned in the story, they did kind of have a great idea. They were doing ship to ship. So if they wanted to go to a different location, all they had to do was look up the ship and be like, oh, this one's traveling to this area. We've never been there. Let's try to book a trip there. As opposed to my man locking in a 12-year lease on a specific ship that probably isn't going to go to too many destinations, too many different, destinations, right? You got to, like I said, man, we just got to be careful about how we move. What's going on, family? Appreciate you locking in. It has been a minute. And your boy has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, not YouTube related. I just been working, right? Because your boy got things he's trying to do in life, and retiring early is one of those, right? So we'll figure out how that works. He says looking at going to the Philippines in September. Just know that's roughly around the rainy season. It might be a little yucky out there. Just make note of that one. He says, sure, I may want to chat with you before then. Hit me up, man. The email has not changed. I hope you have my email. I think we communicated via email once before. Like I said, the email hasn't changed. If you want to do you want to call me up or whatnot, you can do that as well. Just let me know what you want to do. We'll keep it. We'll make it work. But yeah, man, I'm excited for all of my brethren who are getting to see the Philippines for the first time. Awesome. I wouldn't travel there by ship. I definitely would not do that. But if it's in your plans, if it's your life's mission to go ahead and rock out that way, who am I to say, right? Would you have to pay state taxes? So would he have to pay state taxes? I don't know. That's a great question. How do taxes work for him? He works for Meta. I don't know if he's contracted, so he would still have to pay his 1099. He's from California, so they do have state tax in California. They got state and federal, because I know where I'm at in Carolina, I pay state and federal. Bunch of fucking criminals. I just did my taxes, and yeah, they're not fun, bro. Not fun at all. Have you ever paid your taxes, right? This is the most randomest thing. I'm sorry. Have you ever paid your taxes and you made more money than you thought you did, or you looked at your return and your W-2 and shit? Because I am an employee. I don't own no businesses right now. And you look at your W-2 and you was like, man, where did all this money go? Right? I had that moment. I had that epiphany yesterday. I was like, bro, there ain't no way in this world I cleared that type of bread. But apparently I did. So it'd be that way sometimes, but anywho, I didn't know that they paid state and federal taxes, or is it state and federal, or just state only? Because he is working basically out of California, or the company that he works for is based in Silicon Valley, so it is based out of California, so he still might have to pay state taxes on that. But he might, if he's an independent contractor, don't he get the 1099? He says, so are we just going to ignore the Bitcoin bump? No, sir. I know how you feel about Bitcoin surge. And it has come a long way from the little 19. I think it got down as low as 16 to the bump up to last time I checked about 23K. So yes, I'm glad that it's working out for you. As a result, many of my little coins are actually taking a little pop as well. So let's just hope that it always continues to go up. Let's just hope that all hope is not lost on any type of cryptocurrency. That's what we'll do. Yes, the email is on my homepage. So yeah, you can find me there. Shout out to my man Kang. What's up, man? He says I got zero notification, man. Shout out to the good guy. I appreciate you locking in. This one wasn't something that I scheduled in advance. I just kind of came through, popped on, and just had a moment. So yeah, probably a lot of people ain't gonna get no notifications, which is cool, man. I had no real plan that anybody was gonna show the fuck up anyways, but I appreciate all of you for locking in, man. If you haven't already dropped your like, you already know the rules, man. Make sure y'all can rest, molest, and de-stress yourself over that like button. It won't hit it needs to most definitely has to have it. Again, if you guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But like I said, man, happy and blessed y'all choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Now and then, back to business. But yeah, man, Bitcoin hit, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm happy for all of my Bitcoin holders, my hodlers. That what they call them, hodlers, whatever the fuck, people who hodl. Um, my stocks have been doing well for anybody who still does stock market shit. I still do it. I haven't posted any stock market videos on my stock market channel in a hot minute. Probably won't either. But yeah, man, I'm still in on stocks and just investing for the future, man. That's why I bust my ass so that we can make sure that we do retire early, man. I don't know what the next 5 years has in store, but by 40, man, we're gonna be looking to make some serious moves or start making some serious life changes that could potentially, you know, put us in a position of where we want to be. All right. But yeah, man, 28-year-old choosing to live a life on the sea. Is it a passport, bro? Probably not. But at the end of the day, the idea that you can see different parts of the world by utilizing a cruise ship and or cruise liner, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That's that's a creative way of going about traveling. I think it's very creative, right? Because you don't have to buy a plane ticket, even though I do believe plane tickets would probably be cheaper. Oh no, man. I just don't know. He says Bitcoin's going to 30 by the end of the month. I'm praying that it does. Because like I said, when Bitcoin does well, the majority of those little baby coins that follow suit go in the exact same direction. So I'm with you. He says, how do you feel on stocks that pay royalties quarterly? All right, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna tell you a secret about myself. I only invest as far as dividend paying stocks. I only invest in stocks that pay monthly. Robert knows our favorite stock of all time. He knows what it is. Me and him are invested in the same company. We love it. It's been my baby since I first started. And ever since then, I've just locked in on it, and I never let it go. So it's been in my portfolio for since I started, not many years, but at least going on year 3 now. We've been in this business about year 3. In March, it'll be 3 years total for me that I've been investing, and yeah. How do I feel about quarterly stocks? I have maybe one or two, but the only reason I bought it was because it was a great short-term play, as in when the stocks were really beat the fuck down, probably about a month or so, or probably towards the end of December. I just got in and bought a couple of shares just to have a position in it. But I don't really care about their payouts. I plan on getting out of them when they hit a certain number. But I do monthly dividend stocks, man. That's me. Monthly dividend stocks is where my bread and butter is. Regardless of whether it's up or down, 99.9% of the time, the companies that I am invested in that pay monthly, they're going to pay out, right? I haven't missed a payout yet, knock on wood. I pray it doesn't happen, but quarterly, not a big fan. Monthly, sign me up. All right. Please do that. Yes, we do stonks, bro. I know crypto is the play. It has always been the play for many people, but like I said, I like to diversify my portfolio. The only thing that's lacking in my portfolio as we speak is real estate, and we'll just have to see how that plays out, right? Real estate is not always the easiest to come by. I got to get in touch with somebody who really knows the play, right? How to really get in and maneuver and navigate. And it's not so much about, um, I know a couple of people who choose the route of, getting the deed for the houses and stuff, not actually physically owning it, holding it, and reselling that stuff. I don't know what they call that shit, but I know people who are into that. Excuse me, my bad. But yeah, I just got to get around the right people. My bad, yo. That is very inappropriate. But I had to sneeze. All right. And so, what was the story about this guy you were referring to who's using a cruise ship to travel the world? Were the ships going global? Nah, man. They never even told us where the ships were actually going. Matter of fact, let me do you a solid. I'll give you the article link. That'll solve it. Oh shit! I gotta figure out how to copy this damn thing. Me and this computer of mine we've been going at it for a little bit. We've been really not feeling each other lately. But yeah, that's the link there to the article if you guys want to check it out. I should have gave it to you earlier. But it didn't actually tell where the destinations were actually traveling to. This cruise ship is still being made and set to set sail in 2025. So he's got another 2 years of solid work on land. Um, and then after which, if he chooses to make his move, he can. But yeah, it wasn't going global as far as I'm concerned, which is really one of the very off-putting points that were made that was but was not made in the story, right? Nobody was sitting there telling you where this ship was going. Nobody knew where the hell that thing was going. It just said it was being built. He's probably going to touch 5 different destinations at best. I'm not sure if being on one specific cruise ship, that thing is going to go around the world. But then again, I may not know. It may surprise the hell out of me. It may go to maybe 10 destinations, which in my opinion is not bad, for a cruise ship. But again, we're committing ourselves to 12 years at sea at the age of 28. Crazy. Yeah, man, I got allergies, bro. I don't have them bad or anything like that, but every now and again, my nose itches and I just got to sneeze, bro. And I felt that was very inappropriate for a live show, but damn it, it's my show. So I'll just have to apologize later because, yeah, shit was hitting me different. But yeah, my allergies aren't too bad. Like, I don't need a shot or anything, man. I got some Claritin in there and things start to get a little ugly because top of spring, it do gets a little ugly. But, we in the building, man, so it doesn't matter, all right? I see 11 of y'all in the building, man. If you haven't already dropped your like, man, you already know what to do. But definitely interested to hear what you guys got to say, man. Let's hear what you guys got to say. Is this something that you can see yourself committing yourself to at all? I mean, at sea is a commitment, right? Moving anywhere is a commitment. Let's keep it real. Moving to the Philippines, moving to Thailand, it's a commitment. But the beautiful thing about it is, as we saw with the brother Austin Holloman, if things don't necessarily work out, it is not hard for us to buy a plane ticket and go somewhere else. If things don't work out on that cruise ship pimping, you kind of stuck there, right? If you think about it, bro, you kind of stuck. You just SOL. Like, yo, I'm on this cruise ship. Somebody trying to get at me. Shit, where I'm going to go? I'm stuck on this cruise ship, right? Oh, no, man. According to Wikipedia, or Wiki, sorry, most cruise ships sail the Caribbean or the Mediterranean, or others operate elsewhere in places like Alaska, South Pacific, the Baltic Sea, and New England. And those aren't bad places to go, but let's keep it a buck. Is that really where y'all want to go? Like, if this was like, or if these were destinations you were looking to go to 100%, yo, lock in and go. Like, this cruise ship may not be such a bad idea, but if these places ain't really on your bucket list like that, 12 years is a commitment. And it seems as though if he really locked in and really traveled to where he wanted to go, he could probably see all those places probably within the year or within the 2-year spot, right? So, I don't know, man. I'm the type of person that I want the bang for the buck, man. I want the bang for the buck. So, If I'm paying 2,100 a month, I'm gonna make sure I use that thing as much as I possibly can. Right? I'm going to eat all the food I want. Easy way to get fat. I'm going to, basically go to all the shows. I'm gonna drink all the alcohol. I'm gonna make sure my $2,100 is spent the right way. I am, because I committed myself to 2,100 a month. Me and my wife don't even eat together. To keep it real, me and my wife don't even spend that type of money together. Right? Buy groceries. Honestly, my groceries at the top end every 2 weeks is what? I would say in a month we do about $400, maybe five. I'll cap it at five. We don't do that much, but let's just say Doc does about $500 a month in groceries. Entertainment, leisure, and all that stuff. We don't go out very often, but when we do, we have fun. Let's say for entertainment purposes, like I'll take us to the gun range. Like gun range for me and her both to shoot, what, maybe $30? And we do that probably every other weekend. So twice a week, that's like what, 60? If we go catch a movie or something like that, I may drop but we don't really go to the movies. There's not a lot. I know that new Ant-Man Marvel movie's coming out. Maybe the wife wants to go. So we'll go check that out. I might drop like 30 because I like popcorn. I like the movie theater experience. I'm about the popcorn, the drink, and all that shit. And the tickets. Tickets might run me about 24, popcorn and all that shit. Let's just say 40. I'll even say $50. And that might be once or twice a month at best. So we're still cooking at less than $1,000 between the both of us. So $2,100 is a lot to try to commit yourself to. And again, I know it's my area. I live in a very cheap area. Had I live in California, maybe my expenses would be different. Maybe I'd be eating organic shit, or maybe I'd be eating all that vegan shit. With all due respect, I like my vegans out there. Don't get it wrong. I do believe plant-based diet is a very good thing, but I'm not eating no Impossible Burger, just not happening. But I'd probably be committing myself to that particular lifestyle to try to fit in with the vibes out there. And yeah, that stuff can be expensive. That is 100%. But on my every regular day life and stuff, if I had to basically do the numbers, $4,200 is crazy, right? Just for me to travel on a cruise ship and have everything at my disposal. I'm not going to use those amenities like that. Chances are he's not going to use those amenities like that. So I personally see that shit as a waste of money, right? I'm looking at it like a waste of money. An extra $2,100, you probably will do that probably the first 2 or 3 months you on that ship. Then you probably going to say, man, I'm tired of doing that. I want to do something new. But you can't, because you locked in for what, 12-year lease? Come on, fam. Now, even though he's locked into a 12-year lease, that does not mean that he can't leave. You would say this is not like Get Out or something like that where the motherfucker's stuck, right? I guess he can leave anytime he docks anywhere he wants to. But then he's got to find a way to get to a location where the ship is going to be the next time. And guess what? Get back on it. I'm not trying to deal with all the logistical nightmares that come with that shit. It just don't seem right? But again, if these are the areas you're looking to travel to, ladies and gentlemen, by all means, do not let somebody like me stop you from going there, okay? He says, I was on a cruise ship once and I didn't like it. Yeah, I'm not a people person, like I mentioned before. Me and the wife both, man. We are not people, right? I have no friends on purpose. I fuck with y'all. Let me make sure I note that. I like y'all. Y'all rock with the good dog. I appreciate you, right? But I don't have people coming to my house. If you ain't family, you not coming over here. I don't entertain people. I don't like people in my personal space, because that's me, who I am as an individual, right? My house, my layer, my sanction, my sanctuary, whatever you want to call that shit, that is mine. That is ours. I'm sorry. That's ours. But if we don't like people in our personal space, so I don't really have people come over. Imagine you got people at your house, technically on the ship all day, every day, loud outside your door, maybe just being ranting and raving, and they just coming through and making a mess and doing this and doing that. It could be a lot for some people to take in. And I'm just not like that. I'm not built that way. I'm not built to interact and if I have to, I can, but I choose not to, right? That's just who I am as a person, man. And I kind of feel like when you're on a cruise ship, you're pretty much somewhat not necessarily obligated to, but because you're around people all the time, or you want to go out and people are wherever you're going, you're probably gonna have to talk to them as well. I guess small talk, chit chat. I don't know, but it seemed like a lot of work. If he's willing to do it, man, kudos to him. I'll do a 3-day trip and call it a day, man. Tell people I went to the Bahamas, felt good about myself, got my feet wet, and then went home. I can live with that. He's Bitcoin thing works out. I'll just buy my own yacht. For those of you banking on Bitcoin going to 100K or more, 500K, just don't forget about the good doc, okay? Don't forget about the little people. He said, you and expect he will be rich. Oh, I haven't heard about the homie. I hope everything's all right with him. Yeah, I pray that y'all definitely get everything that y'all deserve in life. But here's the problem, though, man. You give the wrong person money, not talk about y'all. Y'all know we're going to be cutting up. That's the problem. If you make the wrong person rich, man, some people just going to be out this bitch cutting up and fucking having the time of their life, man. And I can't even be mad at that. He said, I just booked a cruise for December to Mexico because I like cruises, man. Like I said, I think cruises are okay in short spurts. I can't imagine myself booking a 12-year lease to be on a ship. I can't see it, man. 12 years is that's a commitment and a half. He's 28 now. Hold up, timeout, rewind. I think I made a mistake. The cruise ship doesn't set sail until 2025. That's 2 years from now. He'll be 30. So we'll say 42, he's locked into that particular contract. I guess it's better than a timeshare. Shit, I don't know, man. Y'all help me out. I mean, I guess there's benefits to it, but yeah, I'm not seeing it right now, fam. I'm not seeing it. Like I said, man, I watched the Titanic too many times, man. It made me nervous to be out there on that water for that long of a period of time, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm very buoyant. I can float and I do all right. But if I get thrown overboard, first of all, that's gonna be a long flight to the water, right? Because them cruise ships, they be elevated way above sea level, man. Yeah, I'm not built that way, bro. My man said some rough seas and your room is gonna be messed up. That's true. If that water get a little choppy, too choppy, yeah, throwing your laptop around, fucking up your food. Yeah, it can get ugly, man. Definitely get ugly. But again, it's a commitment, man. And if it's a commitment you guys are willing to make, by all means, you do you. All right, man. I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. I should say, man. I got things that I need to do, but I appreciate y'all locking in with the good doc. If you have anything to say after the show is over, anybody who catches the show on the replay, by all means, make sure you don't forget that like. Make sure you comment down in the comment section below how you guys feel specifically about the idea of committing yourself to a passport bro lifestyle on the sea. Sound crazy as hell, but it could be something, right? If you guys are into it, let me know. If it ain't your cup of tea or if it ain't your steez, by all means, let me know. All right, appreciate you locking in, man. Shout out to the silent partners. You already know who you are. The individuals in the background who say nothing but show up to show support. Just in the background listening to me talk my nonsense. I highly appreciate that one. Again, a channel like mine, as small as it is, does not exist without those who choose to rock and lock in with the good doc. All right, to all of my brethren who choose to participate in the chat, keep the good doc on his toes, man. Ask questions and converse with me. I appreciate y'all locking in. Thank you for showing up. And without further ado, man, I think it's time for the good doc to go and get the getting. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, man, the good doc is officially out. At least Nako, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Bye. Peace.